ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। प्रज्ञानां सुप्रतानैः स्थिरतरनिकर व्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्तविष्टान् पुनरपि रिषणोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरमुं मायया भोजयन्नः मायासङ्ख्या तुरीयं परममृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तत्नतोऽस्मि यो विश्वात्मा विधिजविषयान् प्रास्य भोगान् स्तविष्ठान् पश्चाच्चान्यान् समतिविभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन सूक्ष्मान् सर्वान् एतान् पुनरपि शनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगणः पात्वसो नस्तुरीयः पात्वसो नस्तुरीयः।
ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागंसस्तनूभिः पश्येम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः।
स्थिरे रंगैः विसर्ग will be there.
रंगैः सुष्ठुवागं सस्तनोभिः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागं सस्तनूभिः। ओम इति एतद् अक्षरम् इदगं सर्वं तस्य उपव्याख्यानं भूतं भविष्यत् इति सर्वम् ओंकार एव यच्चन्यात्रिकालातीतं तदपि ओंकार एव सर्वगं हि एतद् ब्रह्मा अयम् आत्मा ब्रह्मा सोऽयम् आत्मा चतुष्पात्।
जागरितस्थानः बहिष्प्रज्ञः सप्तांगः एकोनविंशतिमुखः स्थूलभुक् वैश्वानरः प्रथमः पादः स्वप्नस्थानः अंतःप्रज्ञः सप्तांगः एकोनविंशतिमुखः प्रविविक्तभुक् तैजसः द्वितीयः पादः।
यत्र सुप्तो न कंचन कामं कामयते न कंचन स्वप्नं पश्यति तत्सुषुप्तं सुषुप्तस्थानः एकीभूतः प्रज्ञानघनः एव आनन्दमयः ह्य आनन्दभुक् चेतोमुखः प्राज्ञः तृतीयः पादः। एष सर्वेश्वरः एष सर्वज्ञः एषः
सर्वेश्वरः
एषः सर्वेश्वरः एष सर्वज्ञः एषः सर्वज्ञः एष अन्तर्यामी एषः अन्तर्यामी एषः योनिः सर्वस्य प्रभवाप्ययो हि भूतानाम्।
बहिष्प्रज्ञो विभुर्विश्यः ह्यन्दप्रज्ञस्तु तैजसः खनप्रज्ञस्तथा प्राज्ञः एक एव त्रिधा स्मृतः दक्षिणाक्षिमुखे विश्वः मनस्यन्दस्तु तैजसः आकाशे च हृदि प्राज्ञः त्रिधा देहे व्यवस्थितः
विश्वो हि स्थूलभुन्नित्यं तैजस प्रविविक्तभुक् आनन्दभुक् तथा प्राज्ञः त्रिधा भोगं निबोधत स्थूलं तर्पयते विश्वं प्रविविक्तं तु तैजसम् आनन्दश्च तथा प्राज्ञं त्रिधा तृप्तिं निबोधत
त्रिषुधामसु यद्भोज्यं भोक्ता यश्च प्रकीर्तितः वेद एतद् उभयं यस्तु स भुञ्जानो न लिप्यते प्रभवः सर्वभावानां सतामिति विनिश्चयः सर्वं जनयति प्राणः चेतोंशून् पुरुषः पृथक्
विभूतिं प्रसवं तुन्ये मन्यन्ते सृष्टिचिन्तकाः स्वप्नमाया सर्ववेदी सृष्टिरन्यर्विकल्पिता स्वप्नमाया इच्छामात्रं प्रभो सृष्टिम् इति सृष्टौ विनिश्चितः कालात् प्रसूतिं भूतानां मन्यन्ते कालचिन्तकाः
भोगार्थं सृष्टिरित्यन्ये क्रीडार्थमिति चापरे देवस्यैष स्वभावः आप्तकामस्य का स्पृहा
स्वभावः अयम्
ओके देवस्य एषः अयं नो देवस्य एषः अयं स्वभावः
there is no ayam there
देवस्य एषः स्वभावः अयम् आप्तकामस्य का स्पृहा
yes that is correct
न अन्तः प्रज्ञं न बहिष्प्रज्ञं नोभयतः प्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञानघनं न प्रज्ञं न अप्रज्ञम् अदृष्टम् अव्यवहार्यम् अग्राह्यम् अलक्षणम् अचिन्त्यम् अव्यपदेश्यम् एकात्मप्रत्ययसारं प्रपञ्च उपशमं शान्तं शिवम् अद्वैतं चतुर्थं मन्यन्ते स आत्मा स विज्ञेयः
what is the word that is used for object in this text? The object and its name, nami and nama. Every object has a name. Name and form, they always go together, isn't it? What is the word that is used for any object or any form in this text?
Avidheya.
Avidheya, good. And what is the word that is used for the name, for the nama?
Avidhana.
Avidhana, good. And what is the meaning of pravivikta? Prakashji, what is the meaning of pravivikta? Pravivikta book. What is the meaning of pravivikta? Pravivikta bhukta yasaha, it is told in what is the meaning of pravivikta? Sthula book, Vishwaha.
Pravivikta bhukta ijasaha.
What is the meaning of pravivikta? Sthula Bhuk. What is the meaning of Sthula Bhuk? What is Bhuk?
This is Sukshma. Sukshma.
Yes, Pravivikta means subtle.
Yes, sir.
Pravivikta, subtle. So the Taijasa is the eater of the subtle things. That means the Taijasa only knows the subtle.
Subtle thing. Yes.
But Visva is Sthula Bhuk. Only it knows the gross objects. It can experience only gross objects. Okay. When it is told Turiya is different than the Viswa, Taijas and Prajna, what really is the meaning of that sentence? Suppose you will tell, let me first tell that one, that when you told that Viswa, that Turiya is Atma, of course, and the Turiya is different than Viswa, Taijas and Prajna. What we understand from the sentence?
That Vishwa, Tejas, and Pragya are present in Turiya. They all collapse in Turiya.
No, that is not understood from this.
It's not gross, subtle, and
Yeah, when you tell that the Turiya is different from gross, subtle, and causal, what you understand from this sentence? Remember, this sentence is always used, okay? It only indicates the existence of Turiya. That there is something called Turiya, and it is different from Viswa, Tejas, and Prajna. That is only the existence of the Turiya is only indicated, that there is something called Turiya. But what it is, we don't know. Like when we tell, the rope is different from the snake. By that, we are only establishing the existence of a rope. Okay. But to know that it is a rope, by telling that it is different from the snake,
yeah, it could be something else.
it can be something else. That rope may not be a rope. Rope may be something else.
Crack on the street.
Yeah, it can be crack on the on the earth, or a streak of water. But when it is told it is not the snake, then we have the knowledge of the rope. That when it is told the rope is different from the snake, there is something called rope. And to know the rope, it has to be told that it is not the snake, because we are seeing the snake. If we see the rope as the snake, then that rope is a snake. No, it is not the snake. That means to know the rope as a rope, the second statement is required, that it is not the snake. But we cannot tell it is a rope. We cannot tell. If the moment we tell it is not the snake, that is enough. We will tell it is not a snake. Now I know that it is not a snake. Then we don't need another. And how will know that it is not the snake? When we bring the light. When we bring the light, then we come to know that it is not the snake. Then we don't have to bring another light to know that it is a rope. It is a samakala. The moment we negate the snake, the rope is understood. The rope is understood as a rope. Previously, the rope was understood as a snake. But now, by telling that no, rope is different from the snake, first one has to know that that knowledge has to be there before. Rope is always different from the snake. That means there is something other than the snake. Rope is something other than the snake. Snake properties of snake and ropes properties of the rope, they are two different things. So we are by telling that it is other than the snake, we are establishing the existence of another thing which is not the snake. Just another thing, not sorry. By telling that it is other than the, it is different from the snake, that means we are establishing another object. But when we tell it is not the snake, then we know it as a rope. So two things are happening. One is by telling that the Turiya is different from the Vishwa Tajasana Prajna, we indicate the existence of Turiya. But what Turiya is, that is told in the negative language. It is not Vishwa, it is not Tajas, it is not Prajna. So one is indicating the existence of Turiya, and the other is the negation. The language of negation is telling that what it is. The knowledge of the Turiya is established by telling it is not this, it is not this, it is not this. But by telling that it is different from Vishwatajana Prajna, we are indicating that there is something else other than the Vishwatajana Prajna. But what it is, for that we have to tell it is not, it is not, it is not. That is a Nishedhatmaka. So, so what was the question of the Purvapakshi? That Atma is Chatuspat. Atma is made of 4 quarters. Chatuspat. It has got 4 quarters. Then it is not the first quarter, it is not the second quarter, it is not the third quarter. There is no need of telling that. The Purvapakshi is telling. Because always fourth is other than the first, second, and third. So there is no need. But Bhagavan Shankaracharya is like, no, it has to be mentioned. Because when it is, we are telling it is other than the Vishwatajana and Prajna, then we tell, okay, there is something called Turiya, that's all, which is other than the Vishwatajana and Prajna. But when it told it is not Vishwa, it is not Tajas, it is not Prajna, then exactly we tell what it is. That's why na has to be na anta prajna, na bahis prajna, all those things have to be told. Okay. Then we understand that Shastra is always Nishedhatmaka. Okay. Then Shastra, the knowledge in the Shastra is Nishedhatmaka. It is it doesn't tell the what you call it, it is negation. It is of the nature of negation, Nishedhatmaka. Assertion, scripture is not of the type of assertion. It is only negation. The negation is complete in itself. There is no need of asserting. Once we negate, then assertion is instant. For example, we will just read that one. Na sarpadi vikalpa pratisedhena eva rajyaswarupa pratipatti avastha tyavasthasya vaatmanah turiyatvena pratipade isitatvat tattvamasi itivat. That is Tattvamasi Mahavakya is in Mandukya Upanishad. So sarpadi vikalpa pratisedhena eva. Sarpadi vikalpa. Sarpa is a vikalpa. Vikalpa means an imagination. Pratisedha is negation. negation of the imagination of Sattva. Remember the word negation. By the negation of the illusory nature, imagination means illusory nature of the Sarpa, Rajju Swarupa Pratipatti. That means the knowledge of the Rajju is established by negating the illusory nature of the Sarpa. Always it is emphasizing on the word Pratisedha. Okay? Rajju Swarupa Pratipatti. But means like the same way, three avastasya, which is present in the three, not which is different from the three, which is present in the form of the three avastasya. Three avastha means three avastha. Three avastasya means which is in the form of the three avasthas. That means Jagra, Swapna, Susupti. That is Vishwatesh and Prajna. Atmanaha, Atma which is present in all the three states, Turiyatvena, by telling this in the explanation of Nahta Prajna, Nahbhai Prajna, what the Upanishadkar is trying to tell, that is trying to first establish the Atma which was told as Turiya. Here the Atma word is not used. Here Turiya word is used. But previously Atma word is used. Atma is Chatuspat. Now the Upanishadkar is telling, no, that Atma is Turiya. Pratipada Ishitatvat. Pratipada Ishitatvat. That means the Upanishadkar desire to tell that Atma which was told as Chatuspat is the Turiya in this stanza. And then he is quoting that the Tattvamasi Mahavakya, which in Chandogya Upanishad, there the explanation is Atma is Turiya and that we are Tattvamasi, we are that. Yadihi tri avastha atma vilakshanam turiyam, if the which is present in the three states, that is the Atma, if it is different from the Turiya, Turiyam Anyat, if it is different from Turiya, Tat Pratipatti Dwara Abhava. Then there is Pratipatti Bhava Dwara. Dwara means the means to know the Turiya will not be there. Because when you tell Atma is Chatuspat, that four states are we have to analyze the four states. As a result, we will reach the Turiya. That's why if it is Turiya is not mentioned as different from, is considered as different from the Atma, then we cannot reach Turiya at all. Atma is Turiya, first is mentioning, and then the Atma was Chatuspat, then here it is told this Turiya is not the four states, it's different from the four states. By telling that, he is telling that if it is Atma is not Turiya, then this Vishwatesh and Prajna, they will not be Pratipatti Dwara, they will not be the means to know the Turiya, because it is different from Atma. If it is different from Atma, Atma is Chatuspat, then Chatuspat has no link with the Turiya. That's why Atma is Turiya, that has to be first established. Then Shastra Upadeshena, Upadesha Anarthakyam. Then if it Atma is different from the Turiya, is different from the Atma, then the Shastra, when it is telling here, this Turiya is different than Vishwatesh and Prajna, then to Anarthakyam, it will be meaningless. That means the Turiya will be something non-existent. Non-existence. But Atma Chatuspat, it was told before, and it is, when it is told, it is not the Vishwatesh Prajna, it is indicating something else. It is indicating really the true nature of the Turiya. We cannot, when we tell that the water is not wave, what does it mean? Actually, water is only in the form of wave. Sarvabhuteshu hi atmanam. That means Atma is in the form of all beings. All beings are finite. Atma is infinite. If we tell Atma is all beings, then we have to add another thing also. Otherwise, if we tell Atma which is infinite is finite, infinite cannot be finite. It is appearing as finite. That way it has to be understood. So, if it is not the Vishwateja and Prajna, then there is no need of telling Vishwateja and Prajna. No, then the Turiya will be nothing, will be zero, will be Shunya, it will be void. The Vishwateja and Prajna, they are used as a ladder to reach the Turiya. Turiya is not something non-existent. Already we have read why this Vishwa, Tejas and Prajna, they are illusory. Turiya cannot be non-existent. Why? That you have already studied. Can anybody tell? Vishwa, Tejas and Prajna, they are illusory. So Turiya cannot be non-existent.
Because to have something illusory, you need a base substance.
Is substratum we need, and that substratum has to be real. So Turiya cannot be non-existent. Turiya has to be a real thing, which is really there. Rajjuiva sarpadihi vikalpyamana sthanatrayapi atma eka eva antahprajnaditvena vikalpyate. Rajjuiva, just like the Rajju, just like the rope. Sarpadihi vikalpyamana, all the sarpadihi means the snake, etc. That means snake or a streak of water or a crack in the earth. All these meaning will come. Adihi. Vikalpyamana, they are imagined. Thanatraye api. In the same way, how the snake and the streak of water and crack on the earth, how they are imagined on the rope. In the same way, sthanatraya api. In the sthanatraya means in the waking state, in the dream state, in the deep sleep state, sthanatraya api atma eka eva. Atma is one in the three states are three, but Atma is one. Who is in the form of the three states is one. But states are different. The Antaprajnaditvena vikalpate. And it is this Atma is imagined as the Antaprajna, Bahisprajna, etc. Antaprajnatvadi Praksheda Vijnana Prama Samakala. Then what is the role of the scripture, role of the knowledge? Antaprajnatvadi Praksheda Vijnana Pramana. Pramana means the knowledge. Knowledge of negation. Negation of what? Antaprajnatvadi, Antaprajna, Bahisprajna, etc. When we are telling knowledge, knowledge means it is the nature of negation. Negation of what? Negation of not the real. Negation of the negation of what? The Antaprajnatvadi, the imagined thing. All the Antaprajna, Bahisprajna, all these are imagined on the Turiya. When they are negated, Pratishedha Vijnana Pramana, the knowledge of negation of the illusory Antaprajna, Bahisprajna, Uheta Prajna, all these things. And the meaning of Pratishedha Vijnana means Pratishedha is happening, at the same time knowledge is happening. That is called Pratishedha Vijnana. When the negation happens, knowledge happens at the same time. When the negation is happening, the Pratishedha, it is not that it will take some time for the knowledge to take place. Why we are not able to know ourselves? Because we have not made ourselves free from the illusory idea that I am the body, I am the mind, I am a father, I am the mother. We are not, we have till now, though we have read that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am not the ego, though we have read that again and again and again, but its Pratishedha has not happened. We may tell, who are you? I am different from the body. But actually, that negation has not happened. Still, we are, that understanding that I am the body is still strong. That's why the I am the Atma, that doesn't take place. Pratishedha and Vijnana, Pratishedha Vijnana means, Pratishedha is that I am not this, I am this. When I am not this happens, immediately I am this will happen. We don't need another thing. Now how you tell that, then Swamiji, I have understood that I am not the body. But how I will understand that I am the Atma? No, it doesn't happen that way. The moment we'll understand that I am not the body, immediately that knowledge that I am the Atma will Spurati Hrutsayam. Spurati Hrutsayam. In the heart, this will just rise that I am the Atma, I am the Atma. Spurati. Spurati means it will flicker. Samakala. Samakala means simultaneous. Pratishedha and Vijnana, they are Samakala. Suppose it is not Samakala. Let us say, I am negated that I am not the body. I am negated that I am not the body, I am not the mind, but still knowledge has not taken place. Then what will happen? Anartha prapancha nibruti lakshana param parisamaptam. If when the negation is done, if the knowledge has not taken place, then the prapancha, the problems what we face in this creation, the prapancha, will not be over. Will not be over. And then now I have understood that I am not the body, because the Annanta Pragyan, Nam Rahis Pragyam, all these things I understand, that is not this, not this, not this. So I am okay, I know that I am not the body. But that is not, it doesn't stay there. It says that I am the Atma. That part takes place instantly. Same time it happens, evaporate. Like when we, suppose there is a pot. That pot is covered with darkness. We'll bring a light. What light will do? Light will not create a pot. Pot is already there. It will not create a pot. Only what it does? It removes the darkness. Once it removes the darkness, pot is already there. And pot is revealed. The light is not creating a pot. In the same way, the scripture, which is called pramana, pramana is not creating Atma. It is only removing the ignorance regarding Atma. That's all. Then it has done its job. It cannot do anything more. That part will come later. Anartha prapancha. If it is negating that I am if the scripture is helping us to understand that I am not the body, not the mind, not the intellect, or I am not the stula hook or the pravivikta hook. I am not all these things, but I am the turiya that has not taken place. Then samsara will not be over. Transmigration will not be over. Sorrows and problems in life will not be over. But really it gets over. The moment we negate that I am the body, I am the mind, I am not the intellect, immediately all the prapancha is gone. Because all the problems belong to either the body or the mind or the ego. If I am not them, then ego is gone, then problems are gone. Like how people sometimes say, Swamiji, I saw Lord Krishna in the meditation when I'm doing, I heard the voice from the flute. Then what is happening? But Swamiji, I don't know, all the problems are there. We tell. And then people tell, I'm very devoted to God. Swamiji. I am a devotee of God. Or I am very devoted to Guru. But if the problem is going on, then these are just words that tell. Devotion to Guru, devotion to God, devotion to the Almighty, and problems in life, they don't go together. They cannot, because they are like day and night. Parisamaptam. Parisamaptam means all the prapancha, the problems, anartha. Anartha means all kinds of calamities. All kinds of calamities in life will come to an end. Parisamaptam, paritasamaptam, complete cessation of all the problems. Sanjay, I have this problem is gone, but that problem is there. No. All kinds of problems, whatever possibilities, all the possibilities of all kinds of problems comes to an end the moment the antaprajnatvadi pradesheta. Once the antaprajna, bahisprajna, all these things are negated, so then this prapancha comes to an end. Iti turyadhigame pramanantaram sadhanantaram va na mrugyam. Turyadhigame. In this way, turyadhigame, in realizing that I am the Turya, no other pramana and no other sadhana is needed. Only thing that the ignorance regarding the Turya has to be removed. And who is the pramana, what the scripture does. After that, no other pramana is needed or no other sadhana is needed. Like how people tell, Swamiji, I am listening and all those things, but I am not practicing. That statement is not right. Like when we, like suppose we are taking a cooking class and the teacher will tell how to cook rice. After listening to that, we have to cook. Otherwise, our hunger will not go away. Here, after listening that I am not the antaprajna, bahisprajna, etc. Now I want to practice. Another sadhana I will do. No, there is no other sadhana. That Shravana is the sadhana. When we listen, the ignorance is gone. Regarding anything, when the teacher is teaching the regarding how to do the heart surgery, what we listen, then we understand how to do the surgery. Then we use that one. Okay, whatever we have listened, exactly we follow that one. We don't do, now the teacher has told how to do the surgery. Now to do the surgery, we have to read something else? No. We don't have to read another something. One time the teacher has told, that is the knowledge. Just use that one. So no other pramanantaram, that means another pramana, sadhanantaram, no other sadhana is needed. Va namrugyam, it is not desired. Namrugyam is not desired. Rajju sarpa viveka samakalaiva. Rajju sarpa viveka. The discrimination between Rajju and Sarpa is samakala. Rajju is negative, at the same time, sorry, Sarpa is negative, at the same time, the Rajju is known. This is called Rajju Sarpa Viveka Samakala. It is simultaneous. Rajjvam Sarpa Nibruti Phale Sati Rajvadi Gamasya. When the Sarpa Nibruti, so when the snake is negative, Rajju is understood. Is it clear? So now, so that part, when we are studying, we tell, oh, no, I know, Kena Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, all the things I know. I know what Atma is. Sthula Suksma Karana Sarat, Vyatirikta Panchakosara, I know that. No, that is, then do you realize that you are Atma? So that is not happening. That means that negation has not happened. I just said, but negation still I am holding to that. You know that story In Balivya children, the teachers, they tell to the children, there was a, I think I have told you before also, there was a, what to call it, a hunter. That hunter will go to the forest and he'll catch birds and he will take the market and he will sell them and he will buy rice or whatever to maintain his family. One day, he didn't get any birds at all. He didn't get any bird. Then he went deeper and deeper into the forest. And suddenly, lo and behold, he saw thousands of pigeons. They are in one area. No, parrots, thousands of parrots. They are in one area. He thought, wow, I can catch them and I'll get so much of money. I don't have to come every day. But he heard that one parrot is telling, parrot, parrot, parrots, parrots, hunter will come, spread the net, sow the seeds, don't eat. One parrot is telling, then all other parrots, they're repeating. It is when the entire, that area is entirely vibrating, that entire area is just vibrating with that sound. Parrots, parrots, hunter will come, sow the seeds, spread the net, sow the seeds, don't eat. So that these parrots are really very wise. And the parrot who is first telling and other parrots are repeating. The parrot is the mother of all the parrots. So these are all wise. So they will not be caught in the, because they're repeating that don't eat the seeds. If you don't eat the seeds, then how they will be caught in the, then he thought that, okay, I got a chance to catch, but it is not in my destiny. My family will remain hungry. But he was tired because he has gone deep into the forest, long distance he has covered. So he thought, okay, anyhow, they will not be caught because they are all wise. So let me have come all the distance. Let me just spread the net. He just spread the net and sow some seeds. Then he went to sleep because he was tired. And when he opened his eyes, he can't believe. All the birds are caught in the net, all the parrots. And staying in the parrots, they are raising their heads and telling, the mother bird is telling, parrots, parrots, hunter will come, spread the net, sow the seeds, don't eat. Everybody is repeating the same thing, remaining in that net. He thought that he is dreaming. But really, he went and saw that all are caught. And he was so happy. Of course, there are so many birds, he cannot just carry them. He rented a big truck, 18-wheeler, and put all the parrots and sold them in the market. And from that day, he has never come. He make a big building. All his children are sent to Stanford, this university, that university, and he has never come back to the forest at all. Our situation is like that. All of us have read. There is no doubt we have read. Nobody can tell. We can tell from A to Z, everything we can tell. But the Pratisheda has not happened. If Pratisheda has not happened, Vijnana will not happen. If one has understood that I am not the body, that means automatically one will know that I am the Atma. They are simultaneous. Rajju Sarpa Viveka Samakala, at the same time it happens. Simultaneously it happens. There is no time gap. Rajjam Sarpa Nibruti Phale Sati, when the Sarpa Nibruti happens, Sati means when it happens. Sati is just two words in Sanskrit, but in English, when it happens. When it happens, how many letters just imagine in English? But in Sanskrit, only two letters. Two letters. One word. One word means in English it is a big, so many words. Sarpa Nibruti Phale, it is Sati Saptami. When I go to school, I gain knowledge. There the word sati is used. Satpa nibruti phale sati rajyo adhigamasya. The knowledge of the rajju happens when the sarpa is nibruti, sarpa is negated. Suppose somebody will tell, no, they are not simultaneous. Sarpa nibruti and rajju adhigamya, they are not simultaneous. Because I know that I am not the body. I am reading from Tattvas onwards. I am reading. I know that I am not the body, but I am the Atma. That I don't know that has happened. Same, the fear is going that I may die, and all my problems will be there. And now I am getting old. Then my relationship. This person has taken money. He will not give. All these problems are there. That's why Bhagavan Shankaracharya has to write the next in his Bhashya, Yesam Punaha Tamaha Apanayana Vyatirekena Ghatadhigame Pramanam Vyapriyate Tesam Chedya Abhayava Sambandha Vyoga Vyatirekena Anyatara Abhayave Api Chiddihi Vyapriyate Ityuktam cha. Suppose somebody telling yesam for those whom he didn't tell, for those who what kind of foolish people, for those foolish people whose understanding is tamaha apanayana vyatirekena ghatadhigame pramanam. Pramanam means the knowledge. Tamaha apanayana vyatirekena. Without apanayana is removal, vyatirekena means without. Without the removal of tamaha, that means the darkness, ghata adhigame pramanam. Ghata adhigama. The knowledge of the ghata happens. Without removing the darkness, the knowledge will reveal the pot. The perception of the pot will happen without removing the darkness. If somebody thinks that way, then they are thinking exactly like what? Chedya abhayava sambandha vyoga vyatirekena anyatara abhayave api siddhihi vyapriyata ityuktam cha. It is just like thinking that in the act of splitting, in the act of splitting what? A tree. That chedya. Chedya means splitting. Chedya means which can be split. That is called chedya. Like khadya. Khadya means which has to be eaten. Which should be eaten. Chedya. The tree is chedya because we can split the tree. In the act of splitting, we take a spade, and then to split it, what we do? We separate the relationship between the two parts we are trying to split. That is called splitting. Splitting means we are trying to remove the relationship. Sambandha vyoga vyatirekana. Sambandha vyoga vyatirekana. Sambandha means the relationship. Vyoga means removing. If somebody is thinking that, okay, apart from removing the relationship between the two parts, something else to be done to one part, that is not required, isn't it? When we are splitting a tree, we just split that's all. Then we just separate the relationship between the two parts. Then that it is split. After removing the relationship between the two parts, if we are to do something to the one of those parts, then nobody does that. That act is complete. The act of splitting is complete when the relationship between the two parts is removed. When the relationship between the two parts are removed, the act of splitting is over. The act of splitting doesn't do something to the one of those parts. There it comes to an end. It has fulfilled its purpose. Yada, then he is using the same example for self and for the turiya and ignorance. Ignorance is compared to Atma, the turiya is compared to one part of the tree, and the ignorance is to the other part of the tree. The darkness of ignorance is compared to other part. Then knowledge, what it is doing, yada punaha ghatatamasah viveka karane pravrittam pramanam anupadit satatamah nibruti phala avasanam siddhi iva chedya abhayava sambandha viveka karane pravritta. Yada means when. Punaha ghatatamasa viveka karane. Prabhutam pramanam. Pramanam means the knowledge. What is the knowledge so far as the pot and the darkness is concerned? What is the pramana?
The light.
Light. Light is the pramana. Here pramana is light. When the light by which the perception of the pot is intended, okay, that light, tamasaha viveka karane, by ghatatamasah viveka karane, when we are trying to separate the darkness from the ghata, viveka means separation, okay. When the separation of the darkness from the pot is done, nibhuti phala avasanam, at that time the knowledge has avasanam, the job of the knowledge is over, avasana, it has come to an end. No other things to be done. Siddhi iva chedya abhayava sambandha viveka karana pravritta. Just like how the previous example was given in the act of splitting, the same thing applies here. Tatha na antariyakam, there is no delay. Antariyakam means there is no time gap in that one. Na antariyakam. Ghata vijnanam. The removal of the darkness and the knowledge of the pot, there is no time gap in between them. Ghata vijnanam.
Swami.
Tat pramana phalam. It is the pramana, the purpose of the light is not to reveal the pot, but to remove the darkness.
Swamiji, in this example, it's very clear. When the moment the light falls on the perceived snake, instantly you know that it's not a snake and you think it's a rope.
The snake is gone. Snake is gone.
Yeah. But in reality, in the example about realizing that you are not the body, you intellectually you understand.
No. That is telling here. Intellectually, you have not understood. We are telling that you have understood. Just suppose somebody has studied medical science. I'm giving that example of surgery. Okay, he told me, yes, I understand how to do the surgery, but I cannot do the surgery. No. Who has understood, that person he doesn't need any other study. Now, yes, I have understood what the surgery is. Now to do the surgery, I have to study something else. No.
So what kind of understanding, and I think we listen to all this, we have a grasp, okay, you're not the body, logically you can explain, but then to be abide in that, to have a firm conviction, always.
But logically, when we are telling logically, we are just telling, we don't accept that at all. Within ourselves, logically, one can tell without understanding anything. It is just a repeating. We are repeating. Like some people, they do really very well in the school by memorizing. They can memorize everything. I remember one of our, he was senior to us, one boy. He will, it was, what was the, there are 2 poems are there in our book in English, the 2 poems. And always the question will come, write the summary of this poem. Then everybody, there are key books are there and language is really good. We just memorize that one. We practice that again and again. And we exactly the full stop, comma, everything we write, whatever in the key book, that we will write in the. And the language is very good because the key books are written by very good linguists, linguistics. So they write nicely. But that year, the poem's name was Barbara Frecci. That year. But that year, that poem has to come. But instead of write the summary of Barbara Frecci, it came in an indirect way. The subject matter, whatever is the subject matter of that poem, it told that, okay, the poem which is indicating this, write the summary of that poem. Okay. And that question is also there in the key book. And there the answer is written, see the summary. Then that boy, he has remembered the Barbara, what is the summary. And now that question is come in this way, he wrote the right, see the summary he wrote. This is the difference between a person who has studied and who has understood. Who has understood, that person, however, how you ask the question doesn't matter. Like who know the surgery, when we are doing the surgery, everybody's body, the arteries and everything will not be the same way. It will not be like all are separate and just one cut. No. But they have to understand, okay, this is there, this is there. I will tell that, okay, this is on the way to reach that part. Let me cut that. And then the person is done, is dead. Though he is going for the heart surgery, he has to know the understanding of how all other parts are arranged around the heart, how it has to be kept away, we should not touch that one. And if it is thin or so one who doesn't have understanding, that person will really panic at that time. I cannot do anything. Or that person will die, you will do something wrong. Understanding makes a big difference. Those people who really understood cooking, they will never be stressed out while cooking. But those who have not understood, they will say, okay, now what is done? Oh, so many people are coming. Whether cooking for 100 people or cooking for one person, what is the difference? If vegetable is there, just put everything and fire will go. We are not staying there and making fire there. Understanding people, some people they drive the car with understanding, they understand. And some people they drive because sit in the car and press the accelerator. They can also drive. But if there is little problem, they are gone. They will be so nervous. And it is in the dark and in the forest area, and suddenly the car is not moving. They will, but like people from Mexico, they buy here, our neighbor, sometimes he puts a car, $2,000. And in that leather seat and the TV is there, everything $2,000. And then the people from Mexico, they come and they go around, they bring their family and they buy that one. And in that they go to Mexico. We cannot go to Mexico in that one because we don't know mechanism. We have no understanding regarding the car. We are driving, we know driving, but we don't have understanding. So that's why those people who are in they're flying the like the planes for the war planes. So many situations will arise, and how to maneuver and how to survive there and then kill the enemies. That one should have the understanding. It will not that it will just black and white. So always there is a difference between the people who learn by practicing, by practicing it again and again, and some has understood. Who have understood, they will do well when something is difficult. But when everything is normal, the people who practice, they will do well, no doubt. That's why understanding is, scriptures give importance to understanding, not practicing. Not practicing. Understand? And if you have understood, then use that one. That's all. Rajam Sarpanibhuti Phalasati Rajwadi Amachya. That means the knowledge of the Raju happens when the Sarpa is negated. Yesam now again this ignorance regarding the Turiya, the ignorance which is making us to feel that we are the Vishwa, Tejas and Prajna, when that is avasana, when that is ended, at that time I am the Turiya, that knowledge will done. Non-tarikam, there is no time delay. There is no time delay between the darkness that is covering the ghata and the ghata jnana. There is no time delay. Then nacha tadvat api atmani adhyaropita antapragyatvad. Now he is using a different language. Previously he was telling the ignorance of the Turiya is creating the Vishwa, Tejas and Prajna. Now he is telling Vishwa, Tejas and Prajna, they are superimposed on the Turiya. Different way he is explaining. Nacha tadvat api atmani adhyaropita. Atmani adhyaropita. They are superimposed on what? Atmani. On the Atma. And who are they? Antapragyatwadi. That means Antaprajna, Bahisprajna, Uhata Prajna, all those things are. Viveka Karane. Viveka Karane means to distinguish. To distinguish the Atma from the superimposed ones on it. Pratishetha Vijnana Pramanasya. Pratishetha Vijnana already we have discussed. Pratishetha means to negate. Vijnana means to know. Our scriptures are called Pratishetha Vijnana. It negates and it establishes the knowledge and the negation which happens at the same time. And our Pramana is a scripture. Scripture does the two things at the same time. Anupadis Sita. Anupadis Sita means ought to be removed. Ought to be removed means the adhyaropita part has to be removed, which is done by the pramana, which is Pratishetha Vijnana. Antaprajnatvadini Nibruti Turiye Vyaparaha Upapattihi. When Antaprajna are Nibruti, when they are negated, then Turiya Vyapara Upapattihi. Then the Turiya is understood. Same thing is repeated. Here the language is different. Here there is telling that ignorance was the cause for the creation of Antaprajna Bahisprajna. Here he is telling this Antaprajna Bahisprajna are superimposed on the Turiya. Jnate Dvaitam na vidyate. And once the knowledge takes place, Dvaita will not be there. Dvaita, what really the knowledge is doing, knowledge is removing, not creating Advaita. It is removing the Dvaita, Dvaita Bhava. Jnanasya Dvaita Nibruti Kshana Vyatirekena Kshanantara, not Kshanantara, Kshanantara Anavasthanat. Anavasthana means sthanam is staying. Anavasthana means not staying. After the knowledge removes the Dvaita, it doesn't stay anymore. Knowledge is gone. Avasthani cha anavastha aprasangat Dvaita nibrutihi. Suppose we will tell that no, now the ignorance has removed, but the knowledge has not taken place. That Dvaita is not removed. That means to remove the Dvaita, another means of knowledge is needed. Again, that cannot remove the Dvaita. Then again another, it is called ad infinitum. It is called, that means it is meaningless. Anavasthanat. Anavasthana means ad infinitum, ad regression. Like how we tell, God has created the world. Who has created God? Let us say another God has created the first God. Then who created the second God? Another. They call ad infinitum. There is no answer. There is no end to that kind of inquiry. Avasthane cha anavasthana aprasangat dvaita anibruti. If we tell that another means of knowledge is needed after removing the ignorance, then it is called anavastha dosa will be there. Tasmat, therefore, Pratisheda Vijnana Pramana Vyapara Samakala, he is trying to establish removal of ignorance, or here he is not telling removal of ignorance, removal of the Dvaita Bhava and establishment in the Advaita Bhava is Samakala. Because Adhyaropita Antapragyatwadi Anartha Nibruti. Anartha, the anartha is the calamity, is this superimposed. The Dvaita Bhava is the calamity that is removed. Okay, and that is Siddham. That he is telling, that is established, that this pramana removes the Dvaita Bhava. Previously it was told removes the darkness. Here it is told it removes the Dvaita Bhava. Then there it was told that knowledge takes place. Here it is told that Advaita Bhava is established. Advaita Bhava automatically arises. It is Siddham, it is proved. And he gave the example of the tree, the splitting the tree. When the tree, the relationship between the two parts, when it is removed, then automatically the tree is split. One will not have to do anything else to split the tree. That itself is the splitting the tree. Then he is telling, now antapragyam iti tajasaha pratishedah. By telling na antapragyam, what is negated? That the turiya is not tajas. But what about the prajna and vishwa? Na bahispragyam iti vishwa pratishedah. By telling that is not bahisprajna, that is vishwa. Same logic. Okay, the vishwa is negated. By telling na ubhayatah pragyam. What does it mean? Jagra swapna antarala avastha praseda. Antarala, the time between the state between the jagrat and swapna, that is removed by telling na ubhayatah pragyam. Okay. Then what is the next one? Na prajnana ghanam. And by telling na prajnana ghanam, what is removed? Na prajna, what is negated? What is whose pratishedah is done? Na prajnana ghanam iti susupti avastha pratishedah. That means the prajna is negated and the susupti avastha is negated. That I am not the susupti avastha, not the knower of the susupti avastha. Bija bhava aviveka rupatvat. Bija bhava means the unmanifested nature. The susupti avastha is the unmanifested, isn't it? Everything goes to unmanifest. There is no expression of the gross or subtle. Bija bhava aviveka rupatvat. This the unmanifested is like the aviveka. Aviveka means here it cannot be distinguished. In the deep sleep, we cannot distinguish one from the other. So by telling na prajnanaghanam, that avastha is negated. Na pragyam, by that what is negated? Na pragyam iti yugapat sarva visaya prajnatrutva pratishedah. By telling that na pragyam yugapat, simultaneously all the vishwa, tajas and prajna are negated. First he negated the vishwa, then he negated the tajas, then he negated the prajna, then he negated the in-between state between the jagat and swapna. Then he negated the susupti avastha. Then he is telling na prajna means Atma is not, at the same time it is not this, not this, not this. Not that when one time when we tell it is not the Vishwa, it may be Tejas at that time. When it is not Tejas, it may be Prajna at that time. No, it is Yugapat. That means it is not any one of them at a given time. Na apragyam. Na apragyam means it is Chaitanya Prasedha. That means it is not inert. Or Chaitanya. It is or Chaitanya Prasedha. That means it is not something inert. This Turiya is not something inert. That means it is consciousness. Okay. So we'll see the rest later. See how many classes to go through. Surely after some time, so why did all now Pragyam? What are these things? What is how to analyze, how to reflect? This is the process of reflection. There will be no trace of doubt. Otherwise, we may think that okay, I have understood. If some other time somebody will tell something, okay, really, what is that? Like one of our mission members, he is a doctor, and he has got all other doctor friends. And when there is party and all those things, they will drink. And they will other doctors they don't come, then don't come to mission, but he was coming, and they're very very Sattvic family, children and wife, everybody comes to the mission. Then they will make fun of this doctor that you are going to Chinmaya mission, you are not drinking, what kind of person you are? And they will always tell him, and he will just make some fun and they will enjoy. But one day it happened, he had some heart problem. And they had to admit it, he went for some surgery. Then his doctor friends told that, you are not drinking, you have the heart problem. You are going to Chinmaya mission, you have the heart problem. We don't go to Chinmaya mission, we drink, but we have no heart problem. So the drinking is helping us. Now he forgot all the logic, everything. I feel so bad, they tell, I don't have the answer what to tell them. No, we should have, wherever somebody is telling, if we have clearly understood the greatness of that, whatever we are doing, then we can explain. If we don't have the logic at that time, we were not able to think anything, then we'll feel very guilty actually, why I'm going to Chinmaya mission, why I'm just wasting time. My children are not studying, I'm the study group sevak in the mission. And my child is not giving C grade. I will not go to mission. Now I'll stay at home. So the child will get A grade. That is not the logic. But we go to that logic. Because a doubt is created. No, it should be clear in our mind. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.